committee is coming by. The sheriff's badge ain't worth a thing when the justice ain't got wings. So we take it into our hands and we make them understand. Vigilantes in the shadows, that's where we ride. When the law can't see, we walk the other side. With a vengeance in our hearts and a fire in our eyes. Vigilantes in the shadows till the day they die. The town's been burning with fear and hate, but we're coming for the ones who sealed our fate. With a rope and a fire in the night, we're gonna make sure they see the light. The law may say it's black and white, but we know it's red and it ain't right. We'll do what the law won't do to see the guilty through. Vigilantes in the shadows, that's where we ride. When the law can't see, we walk the other side. With a vengeance in our hearts and a fire in our eyes. Vigilantes in the shadows till the day they die. The wind it howls like a banshee's cry. Outlaws tremble when we pass by. Ain't no mercy, ain't no grace, just the justice of a hard-pressed place. Vigilantes in the shadows, that's where we ride. When the law can't see, we walk the other side. With a vengeance in our hearts and a fire in our eyes. Vigilantes in the shadows till the day they die. So when the town sleeps and the moon's running high, you'll hear the gallop of the horses stride. And if you're guilty, best be prepared, 'cause the Vigilance Committee will be there.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Vigilance Committee. I know I did a live stream earlier today, but something's been eating on me about a certain, I know he's not called a corrections officer, he's called a detention officer. And about a week ago, actually, Stephanie sent me a link to his DWI. And I actually did a recorded phone call with him asking about people with press harder. And he was very vague. He was very rude. And I said, you know what? Just forget it. I'm going to be very specific and detailed about you and what you're about. So that's what I'm going to share right now. And then I'm going to bring guests up here in a little bit. So I know Phoenix, I just sent you an email too, and it's from the court. They're saying that they don't have to have an ADA Title II coordinator. I'm not sure if they have 50 employees or not, but if they do, that's something definitely to look into. But I'm going to go ahead and present part of my live stream today. It was when I was trying to get a public record. And I'm just going to go ahead and play this little part first. And make it big here. Kind of something we were going through. And if I wasn't able to even do a public records request like this, Miss Sourpuss told me I couldn't do it, I had to go to a website. we'd have never. And if it wasn't for the not for the record, um, Four Corners Fist in the Air, I wouldn't have been alerted to this story in the first place. So, but I just based on my conversation with this guy and the information received. And I do want to make sure Stephanie gets credit because she did text me this video a while back that I'm getting ready to share here. This guy shouldn't be working in any government capacity at all.
Verbally? I have to do it verbally. I cannot write or type. So you have to make special exceptions for me.
I don't know. About that.
Well, right now I'd like to do a public records request and I'm being denied.
Do you notice his body cam is on? That's important.
I can't hear you. Yes.
So she had no idea what was going on, did she? She kind of screwed up right there because if I wouldn't have been able to do my public records request, that would have opened them up to litigation right then and there. Right?
Well, not only that. Whoops, sorry. Go ahead. You talk, Copwatch.
Oh, I say, yeah, I was like I told you, after we left here, vigilance is that this sergeant here, butt in right away because he must have remembered that, the letter they just barely had put out there in the lobby and knew that if he didn't do his job by assisting you for, aid for your disability, they would be in very big trouble, after just being warned about it. And I'm pretty sure that lady wasn't told yet about it. And I'm pretty sure after this, she's going to know.
Yep. So you're right there. Oh, look, it's the cop who drives drunk with his two small children in the car and got into a wreck. Yeah, we're getting ready to show that video. I do want to recognize Lion One in the chat. I know that people from Press Harder did mention her last night, and rightly so. She's a huge supporter of the 1A community. So welcome, Lion One. Here we go.
And I can't write or type, so I can't get onto the website. I can't.
I can ask and see if maybe we can get you a paper.
Yeah, somebody needs to write it down for me.
I know we don't just offhand have a paper form.
Then you would be in violation of the ADA Title II if you don't take my public request verbally.
I can listen to it.
Can you write it down? Okay, can you come out here so I can hear you?
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. Sure.
All right, I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. I want you guys to see just how vague and how professional he is.
For this entity, this detention center, you should have one. And I would like their name. I would like how long they've been employed here.
So I'm
And I would
asking
like
about
their
the
salary
ADA Title II coordinator. Phoenix is proud of
and
me.
their
right?
certification. Let me think. I would like also Sergeant Thompson's full name.
Just so you guys know, I think on day 2 is when I called this detention center to do a welfare check, and I spoke with Sergeant Thompson, and I let her know that Press Harder isn't, people from Press Harder is not eating, and that they are responsible. And I got her to say on that, because I did record the phone call, and I did give her to confirm that they are responsible for anyone that's in their facility, whether they live or die, they're responsible. So basically putting her on notice that he's not going to feed, he's not going to eat himself, he's not going to eat, but they have to take care of him, and he's not, it's because I knew Press Harder was not going to eat when he went into that jail, and I think everybody here did too, right? You guys know him, and you know how he is if he gets arrested. So it's very important that we did that, and a lot of people made those calls. So I want to thank everybody for making those calls to the detention center on people's behalf. Go ahead.
Can I mention something real quick? People all around the world, they think they can't do nothing. Those phone calls do more than you think. You know what I mean? Like, it's hurting times, but a phone call is free, most definitely.
Yep. All right, here we go. And we're gonna find something out. We're gonna find something out about this sergeant right here before this video's over.
How long she's been employed here at this facility.
This is actually the first wave of protest.
And I would like her salary as well. And then who is in charge of this facility?
We have an administrator,
Yeah, what's their name?
Mr. Webb.
I'm looking for another one that's probably in charge of the other corrections officers here. What was his
How did I know to ask this question? How did I know?
name? It starts with an SH, I believe.
Shuttleworth?
Shuttleworth, yes.
That's myself.
Oh, you're Shuttleworth. Oh, okay. You used to be a sheriff here, right?
Not a sheriff.
A sheriff's deputy.
No.
No? Where were you a sheriff's deputy?
I was never a sheriff.
You were never a sheriff? You're not Robert Shuttleford?
I am.
Huh.
I was not a sheriff. I was not a sheriff.
Okay. What was your capacity when you were arrested for a DWI?
What do you mean?
You were working within the government at that
Yeah, I
time.
was a police officer
Okay. Where at?
for the city of Farmington.
City of
Not
Farmington.
a deputy.
Okay. So a little word salad going on.
Yeah, little word salad. He did not want to give up that information at all, and I'm going to show you guys why. So let's end that one here, and then let's present. Not going to be a long video, guys. I just want to really put this out because I don't think this guy should be working for the government in any capacity at all. And right there, fired from Farmington Police Department. Oops. Why is he working for San Juan County now? I mean, this guy was fired in disgrace because of what he did. And he should not be working at all for any government entity. He needs to go. Plus, he's a rude, vague, didn't want to give up any information, and I told him I was going to be very detailed about him. And so I'm a man of my word, and we're gonna expose this. So bear with me here.
On February 15th, 2024, New Mexico deputies rushed to Highway 516 after a concerned driver reported a near-miss collision with a white Jeep Cherokee. The caller reported the suspect continued driving westbound without stopping. Deputies quickly located the white Jeep, visibly damaged on the driver's side, pulled over on the side of the road with its engine still running. As deputies approached, they discovered the driver was 29-year-old Farmington police officer Robert Shuttleworth, with his 2 young children in the back seat. Here's what the deputies do next.
Now, I do want to give credit for the people that actually did this video. So let me make this small for a second here, just so you can see the name of the channel on here. Where is it? More videos, body cams. So it's a body cam channel. So I just want to make sure if you haven't, Stephanie, if you can find their link and put their link in the chat, I'd sure appreciate it because I am using their content here. It's fair use because I'm kind of making it my own by interrupting it and talking about it, but I do want to make sure they get some credit here. I don't want to get any kind of a into any kind of a spat with another channel. So here we go.
Bobby, let's step out of the vehicle, all right?
Come on, Bobby. You got your kids in the back, dude. What's going on, man? Hey, Salazar, come over here.
Can you open the door?
Can we also get this way?
Yeah, let's open the door.
All right, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby, yeah, let's step out. Are you carrying?
Where's
that? You don't
have your gun on you?
Okay, step out. Step out this way. Yeah, just keep your hands up. Your door's not going to open any further. Yeah, just kind of squeeze on out. That's okay. You're okay. All right, let's go here.
You hear those kids in the back? They're traumatized. Absolutely traumatized. It really did tick me off when I first watched this, but I kind of felt bad for this drunk cop, But after talking to him in person and after that phone call that Four Corners Fist in the Air I had with him, I decided, you know what? This guy's a piece of shit. And he shouldn't be working for the government at all. I do want to recognize some folks here in the chat. Thanks for coming in, everybody. So we've got, let me go up to the top here. I just want to recognize everybody in here. So South Carolina Phoenix Volunteer ADA Title II Auditors. He is awesome. He's taught me a lot about the ADA, and he is an expert. And so if you haven't already subscribed to his channel, you need to do it. Because he has done a lot of work when it comes to the ADA, and he is a Title II expert. He's gone through the certification process, and he knows what he's doing. And then there's, I haven't seen this guy yet. How do I pronounce that? Automate Slacker. Okay, welcome. And there's, of course, Stephanie, my favorite auditor that I'm not supposed to say out loud. And then we've got Gloria Add in here. Good to see you. Wingspan Angel, she's the usual here. Let's Go TVO, he's becoming a regular watcher of my channel, and I really do appreciate him and his work. And if you wouldn't mind, folks, Stephanie, if you would please put his link in the channel as well. And I think folks should go subscribe to him. He hasn't done a lot of work yet, and he hangs on tight to his vest here. He's got some things going on, so he hasn't published everything yet. But you guys are going to really be. He's also in New Mexico too, so and we're already seeing the tyranny there in New Mexico. So, and he knows it firsthand. Lion One, good to see you. Glad you're back again. Today. I don't normally do 2 videos in one day, but I just started thinking about this. This was a spur of the moment thing, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to just go live and show it. And who knows who's going to come in. I don't really care about that. I just want to expose this guy for who he really is. Johnson County, Kansas, Cop Watch, good to see you. Gloria Add. Let's see who else we got in here. David, good to see you. Keeping the swine in line. He's doing pretty good work too. Let's see. Chris Milkey, yep. He's a regular here. It's always good to see you, Chris. Let's see who else we got. So this is me basically doing fair use. Pausing the video. Let's get back to it, and then I'll catch up with the chat here in a little bit more.
Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's walk over here, okay? Hey, don't keep your hands out of your pocket. Yeah. Okay, so walk over there. Let's come over here.
You got nothing on you, Bobby? You don't got your gun?
No.
Okay.
Let's walk over here. Hey, come on. Let's walk over here. Hey, Bobby, let's go over here.
Okay.
Let's go over here. Let's go over here.
What's going on
Let's
today? Nothing? So you know what we got to do, right? Yep. Okay. Were you just headed home or what? Yep. Where are you coming from?
Nope.
No? You want to do a field sobriety test? No? No? Okay.
Yeah, see, he knows better. He knows better than to try to do a sobriety test. I mean, look at the guy. Put a one in the chat if you think he is obviously way over the limit, or put a 2 in there if you think he's just, maybe he's just tired. All right, let's continue. Mr. Carey, good to see you.
All right, see you here.
Your wallet in your
I'll double lock these for you, okay? So don't get any tighter. You feel okay? Yep. All right. Let's come over.
Mr. Carey, send me that song in an email if you can. The Vigilance Committee 1864@gmail.com. And let me listen to it first. But it sounds because you get crazy with your songs. I love your work though. You guys should go to Mr. Carey's channel and look at his work too. He's funny. Not always complimentary, but he's funny. So it's great. Let's see who we got here. This is somebody new that I haven't seen before. Oh, look at that. Tweakadee. Okay. Robert. Hi, everyone. Hi, Robert. I don't know if I don't know who that is. I think that welcome though. It's good to see everybody coming in. All right, let's continue.
Over here to the front of my unit, okay? I'm just hanging on to you so that way you don't fall over, all right? Okay. Just stand right here, okay? Yep. I'm just gonna check you. I'm gonna check you for any weapons, okay? So, do you have your wallet on you? No. Where's your wallet at? I got it. Okay. Come take a seat back here, or have a seat back here, okay? Let's go on this side. Or I'm sorry, yeah, this. Wherever you have it. Yep, this way. You able to get it there? Yep. What's that?
Oh yeah, I remember that song. I only talk to Nicky when I need a favor. I got you.
I'm gonna read you the Mexico implied consent, okay? You know the process, man. You are under arrest for DWI. The New Mexico Implied Consent Act requires you to submit to a breath test. Okay. Let me just read it off, okay? The New Mexico Implied Consent Act requires you to submit to a breath test to determine the outcome.
Very good observation by Lion One right there. They've been very gentle with him. Yes, because he's a police officer.
Content of your blood. After you take the test, you have the right to choose an additional independent test. If you choose to take an additional independent test, you have the right to choose a reasonable opportunity to arrange for a physician, a licensed nurse, a laboratory technician, or technologist who is employed by a hospital, a physician of your own choice to perform an additional chemical test. The cost of this additional test will be paid by the law enforcement agency. Do you agree to take our test? Okay. Can I just make sure you don't got nothing in your mouth? Can I have an additional test? What's that? Additional test.
See, even a cop knows never take a field sobriety test, right? Let that be a lesson to everyone. don't take one of those. Your lawyer would tell you they're just gathering evidence against you. And I know Harvey Freebird, he drills that in on his channel. Don't ever take one of those. Doesn't matter if you're taking the ride to jail. You want to protect yourself. And they're subjective anyway. They really are. It doesn't matter how well you do. They can just say, nah, you didn't do good enough. We're taking to jail anyway. So they're just, it's stupid to take one of those things. All right.
Yes, of course. Can you open up your mouth? Let me look at it, Bobby. Look this way. Lift up your tongue. Okay. There's front end damage, and then.
So I don't understand that. Did they think he might have been suicidal or something? Anybody that gets that intoxicated and drives with their two kids in the back seat, something's definitely wrong there. This guy might even have psychological issues. Alcoholism is a terrible thing. So if he is an alcoholic, he needs to get some help. But I don't believe he should be working for the government. I don't think he should have a nice, cushy government job where he sits around and does nothing, especially detention officer and a sergeant, no less. Why would they make this guy a sergeant? He shouldn't be in charge of anything, especially prisoners. I mean, does he get drunk on the job still? We don't know. These are just questions.
There's side damage.
Well, let's look at the pattern.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the deal with the kids? Where are the kids?
They're with EMS right now.
Okay.
Getting evaluated.
So they're saying if they look at them, they're going to have to take them? Is that?
Yes, because they were involved in an accident.
Right.
Unless his parent is notified and is able to just take them themselves.
They don't have a phone number for her. They're going to try to go by his
We
house.
ran her information too, so does she not come up in previous calls? Hey, Bobby. Hey, Stephanie's coming by to pick up the kiddos, okay? All right.
When I was coming here, there was somebody in the center median walking. I don't know why.
A guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was across the street or what, so I wanted to get here, so I didn't stop.
There's a vehicle also on the side of the road that may have been his.
He might have been walking back. Okay, well, actually, I may drive my truck so I don't get run over and get killed, but I'm going to kind of see if I can see what he hit. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. From what
Yeah, drive your truck. It's got to be safer now that he's not driving himself. Oh, Lord.
dispatch told us is that he had crossed over all four lanes and that he went into a field. There's not a single damn field from here down there.
Four Corners, fist in the air. Stephanie has the link if you want to come up on panel and talk about this piece of trash. You're welcome, brother. And if Press Harder's with you, we'd love to have him up on the panel too. But I just kind of wanted to show this Shuttleworth. I call him Butterworth. I had a really negative phone conversation with him also that Four Corners Fist in the Air knows about because he was on the line with me. Or yeah, he was actually the one that made the call, and the guy was really rude. And after he did that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna expose this guy in detail, and that's what I'm doing right now. Stephanie did send me this link about a week ago. Because actually, it wasn't quite a week ago. It was when she saw Shuttleworth when we aired that, or when Four Corners Fist in the Air aired that live when we were at the protest. She sent me that link to this cop that crashes with his kids in the car. And I know Four Corners Fist in the Air could probably even tell us more about that. So if he wants to come up, you're welcome to come up, Four Corners. Stephanie, if you can throw that link back in there. Actually, I'll go ahead and throw it in here. Let me copy and paste it. Because apparently this guy just had everything swept under the rug. And here he is working for the county now instead of as a city police officer. So there's the link. Here we go.
Could have been right he was just freaking.
Oh, then he probably backed up and pulled in.
Yeah, there's bumper and shit right there. So he went straight through. Well, let's walk over here and let's run.
Hey, you found it. Well, he just kept going, I'm sure.
Yeah, I doubt.
Oh, okay, right there.
Down. He's going full speed. Yeah, I think he's going full speed through here.
Yes.
Wow. We're lucky to see it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm assuming they run a car seat.
So whatever that, or if that's an intersection, no.
Look at that rocket too. You see that?
Yeah. Press Harder's in the chat. Good to see you, Press Harder. Love you, brother. Yeah, we're exposing Shuttleworth right now. So if you guys want to come up and talk about Shuttleworth, or I call him Butterworth, you're welcome to come up. All right. Broken system, broken trust. Yeah. Good to see you. All right, let's continue.
Boom.
Dug that right up out of the ground. I'll walk further up.
I can't really tell where it left the road.
And it's right here, right when
I'm just gonna, whenever I do my crash, when I do my 44 report, I'm gonna use this intersection right here as where it went off.
All right, yeah.
Four Corners Fist in the Air. Welcome, brother. Have you got anything to say so far?
This is the one that I made the call. That called me last night when you were on the line with me. That was Keeler.
That's right.
That wasn't Shuttleworth. It was Keeler.
Yeah,
the one that you heard talking.
Yeah, but I had another conversation with Shuttleworth too on the phone that I recorded.
Really?
Yeah, so I kind of got
okay.
confused there, but yeah, Shuttleworth was always, he's just vague. He doesn't, he's not given us any information, and I think he needs to be exposed for who he is. And I'm going to pull up Phoenix here. Four Corners Fist in the Air. Phoenix is the ADA Title II expert that I work with. So when we went into that protest and in that detention facility, I had already contacted him, and he sent out emails to the detention center, and that's why they had the posting of the ADA Title II coordinator. And Phoenix, will you talk about that? Because I know that Ortega is probably not supposed to be the one, because I think they have more than 50 employees right there at the detention center. So I'm going to let Phoenix give us an idea on the ADA Title II, something we were talking about when we were there. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, how's my mic sound? Am I echoing?
Yep. Nope, you're fine. Good.
I put a link in the chat section of the StreamYard. As of last year, 2023, 2024, they were in compliance with Title II, but they are not in compliance with Title II now, and that's Farmington, New Mexico.
Okay. Now, was that the detention center too? Or is Ortega supposed to be in charge of that? Because that's what the posting said, that he was the ADA Title II coordinator.
Ortega works for the county, not for the city, Farmington. The city,
Right.
Farmington, if you look in the chat section, I posted a link there.
Yep,
You can
I
see
it.
they
And
did at one time recently comply with Title II, but they no longer are.
Okay. So there's more ammunition. And I already said it's kind of like we just put a thorn in their side when they mess with our people, right? So just kind of make them be compliant. And if they're not compliant, we give them 15 days to become compliant. And they hop too when you send out those emails. We've been doing it for a little bit. So I really appreciate you. Anytime I call you and say, hey, I got a job for you, you're right on it. So again, folks, if you're not already subscribed to Phoenix Volunteer ADA, he's doing great work. So I would subscribe to him. Is there something that we don't know about Shuttleworth, Four Corners, that you know that we haven't actually talked about yet?
No, that's actually when I did not know of him at all until, I don't know if I remember if I ran across him because he said he was a Farmington Police Department, and it was the sheriffs are the ones that came up upon the accident when he with that DWI accident that he had with his kids in the back.
Yeah.
And that's when I was in there in San Juan County Detention Center for the same charges that Press Harder was in there for. And that's when I did 2 months in there. And that's when he was on the news, the local, the Albuquerque, New Mexico news.
So you're saying while you were in jail, you saw it on the news, this footage, basically.
Yeah. Everybody was watching the news, and we were all watching it. And that's when Shuttleworth came up on the news, and that's how I know about him. You know, we were actually watching him on TV on the news, his arrest, and he was there in the San Juan County Detention Center being questioned. And what I seen, he was kind of like slouching over. He was still intoxicated when they were trying to question him.
And I heard about this guy a while ago, and so that's the reason. And I somebody put a bug in my ear that he was actually working for this detention center too, and that's the reason why I was asking. You know, who's the other shift supervisor here? SH? What was that? And that's when he said Shuttleworth, and I said, yeah, Shuttleworth. He said, that's me, and I said, oh, you're Shuttleworth. So yeah. A small world, right? And this guy should not be working for the government in any capacity by what we're witnessing here on this body cam footage that real body cams put out. So they did a great job on this getting the body cam for this. So let's continue watching it.
It kind of looks like it, huh? 3157. Man, how did he miss that?
Yeah, no kidding, huh? He got wrapped all the way up that thing too. Remember that one in Farmington years ago? It was on Browning. Park it stuck up on those cable.
Oh yeah, yeah, because it looks like he hit it or almost right through. He was already coming back up onto the road here. Because look, he was coming this way. Actually, he went just around that. Hello. Are you Stephanie? I'm sorry, we're just walking to see. He just went where the car went. We can walk over here and talk to your kiddos, okay? It just seems like he got drunk and wrecked his vehicle.
Into somebody else?
No, into the ditch.
Into the ditch?
Well, it's right here. It's over here. It got out, so.
So apparently he was on the other side of this highway, went over the median, across traffic, and into the ditch over here. Right in there. So, I mean, that guy was just, I mean, he was a waltzing pissant. That's how intoxicated he was. A waltzing pissant. Wow.
Wait, so he was going this way and he ended up over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you serious?
So let's go talk to kiddos.
What in the hell? He is not this person. He is not.
Is he going through something right now that would cause him to drink?
No. Well, we have problems, but it's like he's gonna do this. He's a cop and he knows. And they already took him.
Yes, ma'am.
And so.
Well, I'm glad they blurred the kids out. You know, that's, you never want to show kids. I don't show kids. I don't ever want to show kids on camera, whether they're in public or private. Although we can, but no, it wouldn't be cool. But just see how traumatized these poor kids were from what he did.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Daddy didn't mean to do it. I don't know what he did, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we put you through this. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
And thanks again, Stephanie Jenks, for sending me this. You do a lot of great work out there, and you're a wonderful mod in a lot of different channels. And you need a lot more credit for when you do things. So I want to make sure that you're recognized for sending me this and exposing this Shuttleworth for us. And same way with Four Corners. If he wouldn't have pointed the guy out and actually said, you know, what happened, two and two wouldn't have really clicked together. So you guys, awesome. So here we go.
You're okay.
So now that you're here, would it be okay if EMS give, look at them?
Yes, please. Could they have it?
And correct me if I'm wrong, Four Corners Fist in the Air, didn't people with Press Harder on San Joaquin Valley Transparencies live today? By the way, if you guys haven't seen that, go watch it. And Stephanie will share the link to San Joaquin Valley Transparency as well. What was my question now? I think I got it out there. He had some interactions with him, people with Press Harder, while he was incarcerated here at the San Juan Adult Detention Center. Am I right about that? Because I thought I heard him say he had that he was one of the guys that actually carried him and hurt him. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think I'm right. There you are. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was up on the San Joaquin Valley Transparencies.
Yep.
Well, Press Harder needed to use my phone because he was giving him problems at the moment. But yeah, we got to give thanks to Press for Transparency. The day before you guys came was a Monday, and you guys came. What day was it? You guys came actually. You and
Yeah, we showed up on Monday afternoon.
Monday afternoon. Okay, but I think it was. But Press Harder and I made a phone call, and I recorded it, and that's when Press for Transparency. I mean, he's the one that caught on to Shuttlesworth, and that's when Press for Transparency said, "Is your first name? Is this Robert? Is your name Robert Shuttlesworth?" And he said, "Yes, sir." Then that's where Press for Transparency is the one that actually, caught the name, and that he
Right.
then he told me, he goes, "Remember, he's the one that got that DWI back a while ago." And I said, "Yeah, that did sound familiar." So that Press for Transparency is the one that caught that when he made the phone call before you guys came down.
Then I think you told me about it after I got there. And then when we exposed, when we went there during the protest, and I said, "Oh, you're Shuttleworth," because I got that information from you. Right after that, Stephanie Jenks sent me this video in a text after we because she knew who he was too. So it's like, and I just didn't put two and two together completely. And then when you guys were on San Joaquin Valley Transparency's channel today, and you guys were talking about it, I thought, you know what? I'm going to expose this bastard because of the phone call I had with him. He was still being vague, unprofessional, and he was downright rude to me when I talked to him on the phone. And I said, "So since you're not giving me, giving us all the details, we're gonna throw some details out about you." And so he's got the message now that I'm a man of my word, and so we're putting some details about him. So
yeah, it does need to go. People need to know about this Shuttlesworth. It's I don't know why he's still in the system. That's surprising, and it's wrong. And he just like they just get a slap on the wrist and put back in the system, but not in the same department. But I'm surprised that he's just under the detention center, San Juan County Detention Center. It's very alarming.
Still working for the government, still getting all those government benefits. He should not be working for the government in any capacity, because if it was you or I that got a DUI like this and we had children in the back seat of the car, they'd have thrown the book at any one of us. Child endangerment, all kinds of charges. So do we know if he actually got the charges dropped, or if he's on probation, or what's going on? Why is he working for the government right now? Why isn't he? I don't know. You said this happened about a year ago, right?
Last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
last year it happened. That was like about what, 8, 9 months ago?
Yeah. And here he is, just moving on. No longer a certified police officer, he told us, but I mean, he shouldn't be working for the government in any capacity at all. That's just my opinion, but I'm right. People said he's backstage. I don't see him. I don't see him. Where is he?
Tell them to press on your links. I had to go to your links because it said an error, the one that Stephanie Jinx put up.
Okay. Let me go ahead and throw it back out in the chat then, so he can come up on it. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it right out there in the chat, right straight from the StreamYards. Bear with me. There we go. Then he can come up. So Stephanie Jenks says, the Vigilance Committee, how did Shuttleworth do 364 days on probation, ending on April 2025, still get a job as a sergeant in the jail? All right. People, you are on stage, brother, and welcome. Good to see you. If you're saying something, I can't hear you.
Thanks for doing some research on this, Stephanie Jinx.
So you might be having some audio problems, people, press order. So yeah, he's going to jump down and probably try to get back in. All right. Yeah, he definitely shouldn't be a sergeant. I mean, he just got off probation in April. It's just now May, early May. So what the heck? He doesn't exactly have leadership skills as far as I'm concerned, unless he's going to lead people to get drunk and drive with their kids in the car. Craziness. All right, you are on stage, people. Do you have yourself on mute, or you might have to hook up to some earbuds?
First,
Or come
no.
out. Wait, hey, hang on. Go ahead, continue.
Can you hear
There
me
you
now?
are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I wish I could have got on your live stream earlier, Cliff. I didn't realize you were going to do it. You know, I was already set up to go with Sam the Man, but I heard you asking Four Corners just now about Shuttleworth, right? And my experience with him. And he didn't ever lift me because he's a sergeant, right? But what happened on day 8, the day that they broke, was after they broke, then the Mr. Webb, he sent a medical lady there, and we ended up having a good talk about my ribs and my shoulder and all the damage that they had done, right? And he was standing there like,
Oh, your real body.
and when he left the room, then like he went and he set up a transport to take me to the emergency room to get x-rays. And
so which transport was this? Was this the second ride or the last ride, or
this
what
was
it?
the third ride, the third of 4 rides to the hospital. So it was the day before I got released. It was day 8, right? And they so he set up a transport to take me there to get x-rays on my ribs and my shoulder and my elbow and everything. And so he picked the guys, and like they wanted me to walk, but I wouldn't walk. And then they come in with the wheelchair, and then they want to pat me down. And he's like, he told them in no uncertain terms, just like, do whatever you have to do, right? But you are gonna take him, and he's not gonna go. You know, like you're not gonna do a pat down, right? He was like, you know, I mean, I thought he was very professional. I was
I do
floored
too.
to find out
I,
what he did. I
yeah,
was floored to find out what he did.
yeah. I
But
always
I'm
thought he
not
was
really that
professional too,
surprised
but
because
he
they're
was
all
just
crazy.
vague with everything. Yeah. He was just vague with everything. So I always thought he was professional too. He was just vague. All right, I'm going to add Phoenix
Yeah, well,
Title
they're
288.
very calculated there.
Yeah, I
They're
think the
very
more,
calculated there.
yeah,
They're
I think,
gangsters, but they come across as
yeah,
being very reasoned.
yeah. I think the more silver tongued they are and the more professional they are, the more tyrannical they are. That's just my opinion, but I'm right.
Yeah, polite tyranny.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the worst kind of tyranny. You know, with the exception of
Right.
Mosley.
Mosley?
Yeah, that
Oh,
guy was a
Baldy.
loudmouth
Yeah,
tyrant.
Baldy.
Yeah, Baldy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So he
So
didn't directly lift me, but when he picked the transport, when he picked the two officers, not police officers, but detention officers is what they call them, to transport me, he picked a ponytail police and, a cop with muscles,
so
right?
1 and
And
1/3.
so, I mean, not a cop, but yeah, 1 1/3 cops. And so that created more damage, right? Because you got this
Yeah.
ponytail cop that's like 120 pounds, wet and wearing boots, that, almost got smashed between me and the ground, right? On a
Yeah.
hill, trying to hold my whole weight, right? And I wasn't going to stop it. But I mean, she muscled through it. But see, the whole time she was begging to go get help. And he was like, no, we can do it. We can do it. You know how guys are. They don't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
You know how girls
Yeah.
are. They're like, let's ask for help if we need it. Right?
Ask for help all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not
Stephanie
saying
says,
either one is wrong, but I'm saying,
no.
huh?
Yeah. No, I agree. So Stephanie here says Shuttleworth agreed to a plea deal on March 28th in San Juan County Magistrate Court. He admitted to one count of driving while under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs. So that was in March. Then you got April, May, and he's already a sergeant at the detention center. He hasn't been there very long. I'm glad
Right.
I did that public records request because he's only been there a couple of months. It would seem to me, unless they hired him while he was under the charges from the DUI.
I mean, they could hire him while he's under charge.
They could, yeah. I mean, that's what these corrupt government officials like to do. And they do whatever they want, right? Power does what it wants.
That's the best time to hire him. Yeah, because he doesn't have to report that.
Yeah.
But I'm watching this video for the first time. I've never seen any of this. So this is all a surprise to me.
Yeah, let's continue here. And this is thanks to Stephanie. I mean, she found this body cam.
Yes.
Yeah,
she found it on the Sam Joaquin channel when she was on the.
Yeah, she sent it to me about 4 or 5 days ago.
We thought she was talking about body cam. Oh,
Yeah.
she did?
No, she sent it to me about 4 or 5 days ago. So, yeah. And I didn't do anything with it yet, but today I decided to because it was eating on me. This guy should not be working there. And just having that face-to-face conversation with him and looking down, he wasn't looking me in the eye. Something's wrong with that guy.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
The thing is they can't deal with therapist, or else they actually.
Were you saying something?
No, go ahead. Let's watch the video.
Okay.
Have to take them to the hospital if they look.
Well, then they should have done that. I mean, they got in a car accident. Something could have happened to them. What?
Do you have car seats in your vehicle?
I don't have car seats. Can I take them out?
Yeah, you can take them out. That's fine.
No, I think they probably should have blurred her face too. I think she's a pretty good mother. She's saying EMS should have taken care of him. That's what a good mother would say. Yeah, check him out. Here we go.
So you want us to take them, or do you want to take them?
It's the hospital.
If you want, or do you feel comfortable just going home?
As of right now, I'm just gonna wait for their grandparents to get here, and then if anything, I can just.
Those are okay.
So,
Ugh. Kids being traumatized like that should never happen. Ever, ever, ever. Hard to hear.
Those kids think it's their fault. They think they did something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, they were saying sorry to
Which
their
tells
mother.
me he blames them for everything.
It could
Right.
be.
They don't just have that mentality because for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an interesting take on that. Yeah. I didn't quite put that together until you said it. That makes a lot of sense. All right, here we go.
You want to go? It's cold. I'm talking. Just here, go with Tiana, please. Can you get into your car?
okay, let's go grab the car seats. Car seats for the kiddos.
So, are you guys gonna tell me where this is gonna go?
Yeah, I can tell you. If you want to hang out until the tow truck gets here, I can tell you. Or else I can just call you. There's also a bag over here for her. Do you want to take that as well? I was going to say, I don't know if that's very smart. It's not smart at all.
He is a huge rock. He's a huge rock.
See, that's part of it.
Oh, yeah. This was a nice fucking car.
Just look at that. Disgraceful.
That's how he was in the San Juan County Detention Center also.
So you saw him when you were in there?
No, when they were investigating him, and they showed that video also.
Also,
When they're
there's more
investigating.
footage. There's more footage. Okay.
Yeah, he was pretty much in the same shape when they were in there trying to speak to him.
Wow.
And that's the footage. That's the footage they showed on the local news.
Man, oh man, oh man. I mean, that is. I think I remember getting that drunk when I was in the Army, and that's because I was, come on, man, have another drink, have another drink. So, but I certainly wouldn't drive under that condition, in that condition. Oh my Lord, that's just crazy. Not that I believe in DUI laws, but I digress.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby.
You guys got a DUI?
Yeah. We gotta walk in there, okay? Let me get the seatbelt off you, brother. Come here, brother.
I think I got like 4.
You need help out? Can you sit up? Okay. You gotta walk in there, okay?
Yeah.
You gotta speak up, Bobby.
Yes.
What's up with this? I can't take those off until we're. Huh? This way, Bobby. Right here in this chair, okay?
The suspect was charged with DWI .8 or above, leaving the scene of an accident. 2 counts of driving while intoxicated with the minor in the vehicle, and failure to maintain traffic lane. In court, the suspect accepted a plea deal, admitting guilt to the charges of DWI, 0.8 or above, and 1 count of DWI with a minor in the vehicle. As part of the agreement, the prosecutor dismissed other charges. The suspect has been sentenced to probation in order to pay all fines and court costs.
And that was in April that he made that plea deal. April of this year. And here he is.
I just have to say that that narrator that said that, like, I don't know that we can take that as fact.
Yeah, that's true. That's
like
true.
What he said that the plea deal was, and like the
We'd have to actually, we'd have to actually look at all the court records. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah,
we'd have to be looking at the actual paperwork. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah, because sometimes there is misinformation out there.
Yeah, but obviously he got a pretty sweetheart deal. Did they say there was injuries? There was an accident, leaving the scene of an accident.
Yeah, what he did is he went over into the ditch and smashed the left side of his vehicle after crossing 4 lanes of highway. So, yeah, got lucky. Lucky there wasn't any injuries that we know of. None that I'm aware of. I think they would have shared that if they were.
It's very ironic because I was telling one story about somebody that was arrested for DWI, and they had their kid in the car, and they were charged with child abuse while I was there. Okay, while I was in the booking, handcuffed for 48 hours to that chair, they did charge this one lady with that, DUI and child abuse, for having the kid in the car. Life's ruined. She's not going to see her kids, right? And then, and this other guy, okay, he came in and blew a .06, and the cop was like, "Yeah, the legal limit is .08, but I'm going to charge you anyway."
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Why am I surprised? Why am I surprised? Oh my Lord. Yeah, they throw the book at everybody else, but this guy is processing these detainees into the jail, into the adult detention center.
No, yeah, Shuttleworth didn't say that. It was the cop who said that.
No, I understand, but he's the supervisor.
Yeah.
He's one of the supervisors.
Of the jail, yeah, but they have to accept that the prisoners, you know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're all part of the system. They should quit, right? They need to quit. Everyone.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, I know that there's once you get just one DWI, your first DWI, you're supposed to take the whole DWI program, 28 days, then an interlock and DWI school. That's what he should have got. You know, I don't know if these. Maybe he does have the interlock. I don't know. Maybe if you do some deeper digging into it, actual, you know, what he was charged with, but it sounds like they just slapped him on the wrist and didn't give him the mandatory.
So, Stephanie, did you actually see the court records on this then?
Yeah, the lesser charge, yes. Driving under the influence to the slightest degree, intoxicated to the slightest degree.
Yeah, and you could tell he was way more intoxicated than that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the guy that was charged with .06. That's the charge is called intoxicated to the slightest degree.
Well, slightest degree. Well, the slightest degree would be .08. That's the legal term. .06 is not even
the slightest degree. Well, actually, .05 is like called wet and reckless, but technically it's called intoxicated to the slightest degree. It's a lesser charge. It's a misdemeanor. It's not the same as full drunk driving, right?
So, are we talking about New Mexico?
Still, yeah, in a lot of states.
Okay.
there's a lesser charge if you're lower than 0.08, but more than 0.05.
You know, when I was driving truck over the road for 5 years, our legal limit was 0.02. Anything over 0.02, we were considered intoxicated, which is
Well,
not a
when you're
bad thing.
driving a commercial truck and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I think there should be more stringency on those types of laws when you're driving an 80,000 pound piece of machinery that could, 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's commerce.
Somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Commerce shall be regulated.
Yeah. Targeted Patent, good to see you. Chris Milkey. Have you met or heard about Phoenix Volunteer ADA Title II auditor? People? He's on the panel with us.
I haven't met him. I think you gave me his number and I lost track of it. I do want to call him.
Yeah, I
can
did.
text
I
me his
remember
number
doing that.
again.
Yeah,
Because one day
absolutely
you sent me like 3 numbers and I got it confused. So I'm not sure which one is his.
I'll send you
I
his
do want to
again.
call him. But no, I haven't.
Yeah, he's the one that I called him before we made our trip, and I said, I got a job for you. And he said, yep, what is it? And I said, I would like you to find out who the ADA Title II coordinators are for the San Juan Detention Center, the Farmington Police Department, and who else, Phoenix? I can't remember. Was there anybody else, or was it just those two?
Well, we wanted to check who the one was for the jail specifically, who the one was with Sheriff's Department specifically, and who the one for Farmington is.
Yeah. And then as a side note, I went ahead and did a public records request for the municipal court. And did you get my email back on that? Because they denied my request, saying that there was no ADA coordinator there. And they also said that they did not have the audio and video recordings of people's hearings. Did you?
Yeah, I think the arresting officer, I'm pretty sure, had a body camera going. And people, what's the status of your case right now?
He doesn't care.
Ask them. I don't give a fuck. If they want me, they can come get me and shit. Like, what the hell do I care, man?
Yeah.
They wrote me
didn't
out on
agree
the
to
stretcher.
anything, did
If they
you?
wanted me, they'd keep me.
Yep. You didn't agree to anything. You didn't sign any paperwork or anything like that, did you?
No, next time I'll make them evict me.
I love it. I love it. You're a rare bird, brother.
Well, that's awesome. My hat off to you people for how you handled yourself in the jail once you became in custody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Is this
like
Phoenix 88 talking?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Good to meet you, brother.
And Pip, I just wanted to mention, Luther Mosey denied press for transparency and access into the mass shooting conference also, right?
Yeah, I remember seeing that video. In fact, if you want to send me that video, because James Freeman was talking about it, where you guys weren't allowed entry because you weren't considered "quote unquote" press.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so after we were denied to go into that press conference, that mass murder press conference, we found out that he became a lieutenant.
That's how Mosley became a lieutenant then.
That's a good guess, right?
Yeah, by being tyrannical. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're a good thug for us. You're a good thug for protecting our. I mean, I think they're personal bodyguards for the upper leadership in government. That's. I contend that when was it that they announced that the mafia is no more? That there are no mafia anymore. When was that? Like in the 90s or something? Does anybody remember?
I think it was in the 90s.
Yeah, definitely. They ended the mafia in the 80s.
Yeah. Okay. 80s. Yeah. So I contend that you know what they just said, fuck it. If we can't beat them, we'll join them, and I think they became government. Yeah, because I mean, here we are paying for protection,
They
right?
always were government. The Irish mob became the cops.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, in
Italian
Boston,
mob did not
especially.
become the cops.
Yeah.
Right. The Irish mob are now today's cops. Right. And the IRA, the Irish Republican Army.
Yeah. Yeah. So the mafia is still here. It's just now they're government officials, and then the police are their thugs. You will pay this fine. We're going to extort this money from you for our bosses because that's our job. And the more we extort money from you under coercion and the threat of violence, the more we're going to get promoted. And it's the uppers that are probably mafiosos that were the leadership in the mafia anyway. So it's like it's all full circle. The mafia hasn't left; they just became the government instead of being chased by the government. That's just my opinion, but I'm right.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, all gangs are gangs. I mean, the government is
Yeah.
one gang. They're the biggest gang.
Yeah.
Right. But they're not the only gang.
Right. Agreed.
But they're not doing it for the money, but it's the power. Right.
Yep.
Because they don't get the money from those traffic tickets. Like, that's not. I mean, some cities are making a fortune off of those traffic tickets. But, and there are those schemes going on. But in general, like, traffic tickets do not make money for the department. They do. Some of the money goes to the department, but obviously to hire employees, But it's really just the power, right? That they can take that money from you, make you pay.
Well, and yep. And according to Utah Defender that did some research on this, he said municipalities are only supposed to collect from traffic infractions 4% of the total budget, and yet he looked into it, and most of them are over 10%. So they are making money. 10% of their overall budget comes from traffic infractions, and so. Oh, by the way, he did write a nice letter. He said as soon as he talks to you, he's going to read his letter to Mosley to you, people. Press harder.
Wait, what? Say that again.
Utah Defender said he wrote a nice letter to Mosley on your behalf.
Oh, did he?
And he would like to read it to you. So
hell yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, and he told me
sat down and read every word very carefully.
And he told me go ahead and make sure you give him my phone number. So after we get done with this panel, I'll text you Phoenix's phone number and Utah Defender's phone number. So
you did text me Utah Defender, and I will.
Oh, I did.
Him. Yes,
Perfect.
I am going to call him. I just have. I mean, ever since I got out, obviously everybody on my phone tree is calling me.
Yeah.
Right. But
obviously, you're pretty busy. Yep. Obviously, you're very busy, right?
There's a lot of peeps that,
yeah,
really cared, and it touched me. It touched my heart. It really did, because I never ask for help, right? I don't go out and be like, oh, I got kidnapped. Can you show this video, right? But sometimes the community comes together like that, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's never happened like that for me. And when it did happen, and it was just amazing. It blew my mind. Watching the video of you guys at the jail was freaking amazing, man. It about brought tears to my eyes. And you did amazing, man. Your questions were fucking rock solid. Every time I was like, boom. That was a punch to the gut. Oh, snap. Uppercut.
Yeah, we wanted to
shake him nailing him on the drunk driving, and your questions about the ADA coordinator, I'm like, oh, they're fucked. They're so fucked.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to shake him up and realize that they weren't just messing with amateurs, I mean, we're amateurs, but I think we convinced them that we weren't. So,
No,
and
you
some of
are
the
an
some
amateur because you do it for free, right?
yeah,
But you're
yeah,
doing it for the right reasons, right? And
yep.
the only way to it's not the only way to attack him to go in there and be like, oh, why are you holding me hostage? There's 1,000 things you can find problems with. All you got to do is
Yep.
go in there and look.
And ask questions. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I told them the whole time, I was like, you guys don't know what you're stepping in. You guys are just making this hole bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, like you said in the live last night with Four Corners Fist in the Air, you were saying they couldn't wait to get you out of there because they had to carry you everywhere. They had to. You just frustrated the hell out of them because they've never dealt with anybody like you in their jail before. So
No, they
it was
haven't,
kind of
and
awesome.
they admitted it. They admitted it.
Yeah.
They all admitted. Nobody's ever made it like longer than 2 days. Nobody's ever been in booking for 48 hours. Like they were telling me I'd be there forever. It was impossible to get booked. Right. I'd never get past booking without giving a name. Right. And
Yep.
they have put that fear of God into everybody. But come 48 hours, man, they were in mass panic because they have a rule that nobody can be in booking longer than 12 hours. That's their rule.
So they
I was
violated
handcuffed to
policy and
that chair for
procedure.
48 hours.
I want. Were there cameras in there in that booking area
Yeah,
there?
there's a shit ton of cameras in there.
There's an idea for another public records request. Four Corners Fist in the Air.
There's
If you put
lots
out
of
a video like that,
there's lots of things we can talk about.
yeah, we should probably talk about a lot of these things offline. Absolutely. We don't
Yeah,
want
that's
them to
what I
know what
mean.
our
I don't
plans are.
discuss tactics online, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. Makes
But yes,
sense.
we do need to talk about this because I didn't know. Now that I know you guys are like, you know, making public information requests and stuff, I can definitely guide you in some places that they're not going to see coming.
Beautiful. We could definitely use your help. I could tell you're probably one of the most genius minds about law, but you don't give legal advice or illegal advice.
Nor
You just give
illegal
awesome advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want some awesome advice, if you want some advice on what would be really cool, I'll give you that advice, you know. But
So here's a question.
sure.
The Vigilance Committee, can people address how he got out? Um, yeah, it was a
How?
psychological warfare that he won. Yeah, how did you get out of jail? They gave up basically. So, but yeah,
Well,
tell
first
the
of all,
story.
I was never in jail. Okay. I was in my royal palace. When you're one of the people, they're servants, right? And people, they don't tell them they're servants, they just are above them, right? And so when you don't care what they think, when you don't care what they say, when you're not asking for shit, and you know, you do the things you can do, like, you know, they handcuffed me to a floor. I mean, to a chair, right? Now, I could ask to go to the bathroom, or I could just piss on their floor. Okay, like your average citizen is not going to want to piss on the floor. It's rude, right? There's like, you know, they're going to make you pay for that unless like you don't give a fuck and they've already done everything they can do. You see, and so when you make them serve you, when you're making them carry you, okay, they start to get the idea that they're the servants, right? Because they're not going to carry anybody else. Everybody else is walking, right? But I'm getting carried. I'm getting pushed around in a wheelchair. I don't wait in lines, right? Like when you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they're coming in trying to spoon feed me food, right? They're begging me to eat. Like, what can we do to process you? That's what they kept saying. Please help us process you. We can't process you if you're not going to cooperate. Yeah, no shit. I know that. You can't uh, process rights. You know, you fuck with the people, you get the rights in your manus. Okay, right in your manus.
Sergeant Mace. Absolutely brilliant. It's amazing what you did. I'm just shocked that they kept you in there for what was it, 8 days, 9 days?
It would have been longer
I'm
if you didn't help him out and others.
yeah, I knew
I
that we
mean,
needed to
I'm
get down
usually
there
not
as
a big
quick as
fan of
possible.
bailing out the government.
Yeah.
Telling them like to spoon feed me. After you had that conversation, immediately after that, that was when the Mr. Webb came in and tried to spoon feed me some nasty ass cereal mixed with water. What the fuck? I will not be bribed by nasty ass cereal. Put a steak in front of my mouth. Like, let's make this interesting,
I love it.
Like, for
I
real.
love it.
Some pizza, some Taco Bell, a Starbucks coffee. Like, can you do your research? Like, if they had walked in with a Starbucks coffee and a triple baconator, okay, they'll never know if they could have got me to eat. They'll never know.
So I do understand that you love Wendy's triple bacon cheeseburgers, right?
Yeah, if they had gone large, with the Coke, triple bacon cheeseburger, plain, just the meat, the cheese, the bacon, and the bun. Add the extra $1, get the free Frosty. Don't be cheap, And I mean, I wouldn't have eaten it. There's no fucking
No,
way. But still,
I know.
like, at least give it a shot, right? Like, I can't say I wouldn't have done it until they put it in front of my face, and and I don't bite it, right? But at least like make it hard for me.
Peoples,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so the whole San Juan County can suck your presticles, right?
Yeah.
That was another thing Manus put in her police report. She said that you said suck my testicles, and you could clearly hear that you said presticles.
I know, it's so clear. Like, I don't stutter, okay? Unless I want to.
That was a
But she's
plastic
never
there.
heard of presticles. She doesn't know what presticles are. Like, she doesn't know what those are. She knows now. She knows now. Shit. Oh, I guarantee they're hearing it from the sheriff's department, from the jail.
Oh yeah, they're all talking to each other, and yeah, the sheriff's department's probably really ticked off at them that we're asking about their ADA compliance now.
Well, and all kinds of shit. They're getting all the heat.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for this smoke. They're not the ones that kidnapped me, but of course they're participating. They're just as guilty. Go after them with everything you have. That's fine, but they deserve it. But in their minds, and they kept telling me this, like at least once a day, one of those DOs would open the door to my royal palace and be like, "Your beef's not with us. Your beef's with the police department, not us."
Oh, look who we've got down here off stage, and okay. I want to make sure. Stephanie, is that you backstage? Oh, nope, she left. All right.
Hey, Four Corners, I thought you were getting ready.
I am ready. I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. I'm not rushing you. I'm just saying. Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure that's Stephanie. Stephanie, can you go back out in the chat and let us know that that's you that's backstage? Because I want to make sure it's you, and I don't have to see your face. I just want you to go into the chat and say, "Hi, everyone," before I bring you up. She probably can't hear me. Oh, somebody type that in. Cliff wants you to. Stephanie. Because you never know. It could be a sock account or whatever. Come back in chat and let me know it's you. Because I'm not going to ask her to show her face.
Oh, one more question. Like,
it is.
That you could have
Here she
asked.
comes.
One question that you could have asked, though, Cliff, was,
Sure.
do you know if what he is or is not allergic to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because if
I
you're telling
heard
them
you
to
say
feed
that.
me, they
Yeah.
can't feed me because they don't know if I have allergies.
Yeah. I heard
Right.
that.
So it would be a good
Yep.
question, like in the future, if this ever happens again and you do this sort of thing
Yeah.
again, right?
Yeah.
If you're,
Yep.
with me, right, is,
Yep.
do you know what his allergies are? And they'll say HIPAA, but it'll still plant the seed. They'll hear you and they'll know that you know that they don't know. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Cliff.
Well, I just
You
hope it
know
doesn't
what
ever
his
happen again.
religious beliefs are.
Yeah. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Hello, everyone.
Good to have you up on the panel.
Good evening, Stephanie.
Happy to be here. Four Corner, South Carolina.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, press harder.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't be happier to see you out.
Thank you. That's very sweet. I'm blushing.
Yeah. She was pretty worried about you too. We all were. And so we knew we needed to give him some pressure, and I wanted to get down there as quickly as possible. So Utah Copwatch and I, he asked his wife, "Can I go? Can I go out and play?" She said, "Yeah." And so, and I'm not ribbing him about it either. I think it's a, I think it's a, I think it's a good thing to do when you're a husband to, consult your wife about things. So I respect him for that. In fact, so,
Yeah,
but
he's a
yeah,
family man, bro. He's a
yeah, he
family
is.
guy.
Absolutely. And that's not a bad thing. So it was good to have him on the road with me because I told him I'm not driving. I'm going to fly down there. I'll buy you a ticket and we'll just get down. We'll get down there. And he said, "No, I don't want to fly. I'll drive us though." And I said, "Okay, let's go." And we did. So.
All right.
Right.
Well, it was funny because when I found out you went, I was like, if I knew that you were going to show up, I would have been there waiting for that bald bitch with the cuffs for him. I would have brought my own cuffs. I'd have been like, "Let's go, bitch. I'm going to be talking, okay? You're not going to like it. You're going to threaten me with the rest. I'm going to keep talking. Let's just do this now." Because when you do it, then Cliff Williams is going to come and meet Four Corners. And I want to get you guys together. So mission accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely. And it
And
was wonderful meeting Four Corners and Mile
talked to
High.
you before that.
Yeah,
And
you
were
did.
like, "That's too far for me to go," remember?
Yep.
And you were like, "No,
Yep.
that's way too far, like to go out of state."
Yeah. I said I might be able to make the drive to Denver if Utah Watch wanted to go, but as far as going down south that far, 7, 8, 9 hours, no. And I'm hoping that at some point you'll make it here, but I know that's going to be a long while yet. I'm saying that out loud. So we never know where you're going to be, when you're going to pop up somewhere. Utah Copwatch was telling me the story about a year ago. He was out cop watching, and all of a sudden he hears this, "Yeah." He had no idea you were there. He just showed up on one of his cop watches.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he asked you. He said,
"That's
because
exactly
you
how
told
it
him."
happened."
Yep. And he asked you too, because you told him he said, "How did you get here?" And you said, "Walked." And he said, "Well, how are you doing that? How are you getting from all across the country? And you're just walking?" If you want to
Well,
explain
when
to us what you said to him.
When I met Utah Copwatch, I wasn't by myself. I was with Silence of the Law and Sire Pressing and an unmentionable that we don't speak the name of ever again. But so I wasn't alone. I didn't walk to Salt Lake.
Right.
When I
So
was
you
there.
did get a ride.
Yeah, I mean, I get rides, but I don't ask for rides. But I will walk, and I've done the walking, right? I've done the walking, and now that I've done the walking, now peeps are willing to give me rides because they know that I will walk.
Yeah.
Right?
So you've
you
never
have to be
hitchhiked?
willing to try. No, no, I don't ask for anything. If
Yep,
somebody's gonna give
that's
me a
what I
ride,
thought.
they're gonna do it whether I ask or not. No point
That's what I
in
thought. Yep.
making my arm tired holding up a phone. I ain't got time for that.
I love your philosophy, brother. I really do. And I think we had like a over 2 hour conversation on the phone about a month ago about all this too. So um, I knew what was going to happen if I ever saw you get arrested. And then boom, it's like, oh my God, no, I got to get down there. So that's what. So it's a good thing that you and I had that talk over a month ago on the phone because
Yes,
I
but
would have
that's
never.
just one talk. Okay, there are peeps that have
Yeah,
been having those 2 hour conversations with me on a daily basis for years, right?
yeah,
Like, this is the press on philosophy is a way of life. And, yes, you learned a lot. And I can tell already that you want to get it right. And you really
yeah.
listened to, but that was just like an introductory, discussion that we had, right?
Oh
There's a
yeah, and
lot
I
more.
didn't get everything right either. I, I thought if they spoon fed you, you would eat, but turns out no, you won't eat. So, but I don't mind saying that I told them that because it made them try to do something. Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
thought
it's
it was
like,
funny. Like, I thought it was funny, but no, I'm not going to let them spoon feed me. I mean, even if they stuck a feeding tube down my throat, I am not going to allow my body absorb those nutrients, right? There are no nutrients in that. That shit is poison anyway, right? They think they
yeah.
can do things without my consent. They can't. They couldn't even get my vitals, okay, without my consent. They thought they could, but it turns out I have the power, not them.
Yeah, you just frustrated the hell out of them, man. I love it.
The Vigilance Committee, you want to tell Press Harder about your first cop watch?
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
well, which? Oh, the one with the one I actually went live on. That wasn't that wasn't all that great. It was cherries and berries way out there in the wilderness. But no, the first cop watch that we went on, and it was a really short one. It was what was that officer's name? Um, Al Alvarez. You guys had seen him earlier that day,
Yeah,
and
he was behind the police department asking for
and
his sergeant, crying for a sergeant
yeah,
because
he
he.
went crying for a sergeant right away. um, and so when
I
we
haven't
went on
seen
that
that.
cop watch, the first thing that the guy did to Four Corners Fist in the Air, when Four Corners said, "Hey, name and badge number," and he gave it, and then he said, "Hey, I got some questions." He says, doxed him and says, "Do you have something to report?" Really rude. And I said, "Hey, respect. Have some respect." Um, and then Mile High Community Channel. I don't think he heard that conversation, but he was redressing him too. So and
He
then
said he wasn't going to argue with us. That's what he
I
said.
said, "Yeah, not going to argue." And I said, "Yeah, don't then."
Yeah,
So I was
don't.
assertive. Yeah,
Right. Let that be a
I
lesson to you.
exactly. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to, um, you know, before I watched these videos and watched this First Amendment auditing, um, I was kind of a bootlicker, man. Uh, and now I
We all
realize,
were.
yeah, now I realize, man, they're not worth licking. And a lot of these, they're violating the Constitution, the First Amendment all the time. And it's like, whoa, something is really wrong here. So now they say any of their canned stuff, like where you coming from, where you going, all that psychological bullshit. I call them out on that shit right away, and I don't mind doing it face to face, and I would do it alone. Um, uh, I don't want to get arrested, but I'm also going to not back down from speaking my mind. Mile High Community. If you want to come up, Stephanie will give you the link. If you want to come up on the panel again.
Um,
Actually,
my
I'll
phone
put the link
battery's
in
about to
there just in
die.
case.
Four Corners. Four Corners, you still there? Is Four Corners still there?
I think he's got to take himself off mute or something. I don't know. He's still up here.
Cliff, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I think I dropped the link, but I'm not sure I'm dropping the link. So can somebody verify?
Yeah, I just went ahead and dropped it again too myself. So
Okay.
Four Corners Fist in the
Are
Air.
you there?
Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. What's that?
Okay. My phone's about to die. I left my plug in your car. I brought the cord, but I forgot the plug. So
Yeah.
you know where I am.
Yeah. That's no excuse. No excuse.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Excuse, and it's not my fault. I will shirk all responsibility.
Not acceptable. Plug it in and keep on going.
No, I did nothing wrong.
You definitely did nothing wrong. You definitely did nothing wrong.
All right, I got STD 58. He's one of my moderators in the basement here. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up. If you want to come off your camera, you can before I bring you up.
Yeah. STD 58. Yeah.
Mile High. What's going on? I'm on my way, Press.
Okay, and Mile High, thank you for coming out too, bro.
Press,
I
in
didn't
case
get
we
to meet
lose,
you when I-
in case we lose you, Press. Man, we love you, brother.
I love all of you too, and I want everybody, doing this thing that we do to know that you're not alone. It might seem like it, but you're not alone.
No.
And I'm coming, right? And not just me, but
I may
we're
be
forming
behind
this-
the scenes, but I got every one of your backs.
Yeah. If I can get your number from Cliff or whatever,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got
He has your number?
3 numbers to give out now. All right.
Yeah, Cliff is.
Stephanie
Oh, did you
rocks,
see your
that's for
badge,
sure.
Cliff?
I
Did you
have a
see your
badge now?
Yes,
No.
you're the Viceroy of it. That is very powerful, a Viceroy.
Sweet. I love it. I told you, I mentioned it in the chat that I wanted a badge. So now you're confirming that I got one. I love it. Thank you.
I posted in the chat that you have the ruler emergency emoji, right? Because the Viceroy is a ruler of a colony on behalf of the sovereign. The people are the sovereign, right? But like society is the colony, right? So the Viceroy. So being the ruler, you have the ruler emoji.
That's
right?
sweet.
The
Cliff
Viceroy
is
of the-
moving on up.
Yes, that's very powerful being a Viceroy. Okay.
Well, thank you for that. I'm honored.
Yeah. So you're in the union now, so nobody better fuck with Cliff Williams, okay?
Nobody puts Cliff in the corner.
That officer,
Right.
that
Yeah, but my-
officer's name was Estrada. That was his name.
That's right. That's right.
And when I was doing my video, I was looking for the chips thing, like Eric Estrada. I just couldn't find the meme. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, parents set their kids up to be, turn into these fucking babies, right? Like they name them and then they become that. Right.
Yeah.
You got to break free of these damn names.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember also in elementary school they always brought in like every year that I went through elementary school, they brought in a police officer and told us how much they were heroes and to respect authority and all of that stuff. Man, it's indoctrination. It's mind manipulation. It's learn how to conform. Sit down. Shut up. Don't speak unless you're spoken to. You got to raise your hand. Stand in line. All of that stuff is conditioning us to, when we become adults, to do what authority tells you to, no matter what. And it's just bullshit.
Well, the people are the authority. They're the authors.
Yeah, they should be. But the government isn't allowing that. I mean, we've just got to take it like we are the authority and push it. And that's kind of what we're doing here, right? We're pushing it. We are
Right.
the
James
authority.
Freeman did an excellent job of showing that and flipping the script and being.
Yep.
I perceive myself to have the authority. So, do you think you could just go along with that? He's cracking me up these days.
Yeah.
He did a great video for it. That was awesome.
He did. Yeah.
I've been trying to watch. I've been watching videos all day of everybody, and I still have a lot more videos. Just keep popping up. I can't believe how much attention it's got.
Gentlemen,
It's
Go ahead,
may I
Stephanie.
may I have a moment?
Sure.
I must say, I couldn't be more proud of Four Corners, the Vigilance Committee, Howie, which is Mile High Community Channel, and the rest that have come together for Press Harder. You guys rocked it.
Yeah.
I had no idea you guys were all out in the lobby. I pointed out that when you were in that lobby, like you can see practically where I was, the room I was in. I mean, I was very close to where you guys were. If you guys
I
had
wonder if I'd have looked through that window on that door if I'd have saw you.
no, you wouldn't have seen me, but if anybody yelled "yeah," I would have heard it.
Oh man.
Yeah, we should have. You know?
Oh,
I regret
trust me,
that
when we
one.
were out on cop watches, we were saying to each other, somebody would say "yeah," and the other one, somebody else would say it, and then somebody else would say it. So it's like,
Yeah.
cop watches were fun because we were doing that in your honor, I think. So
Yeah, definitely. But I knew something had happened because it was on that day that they broke, right? It was that day. Right? Wait, no, you went on Monday, right?
no,
Or
we went
Tuesday?
to the protest on Tuesday. Yeah,
No, to the
and
jail. Yeah, Tuesday.
yep,
So
yep.
it was, and I got out on Thursday. So it was the next day that they broke. But when that happened, there was immediate action. They hadn't broken yet, but that was when he came in and tried to spoon feed me. It was the next day the officer, well, he was all like, so proud of himself the next day that he had gotten a name. And then I was like, oh, that's really great. But what are you going to do about this 8 days with no food and water? And it just kind of bursted his bubble. He walked out. Got back to
Yeah.
reality.
If I could,
Oh.
if I could, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure,
Stephanie,
go
I
ahead, Ed.
appreciate the credit and stuff like that, but really, Press is the one that did all the work, man. He was the one in there suffering, and
They were
that's
separate.
the truth. And I'd like to get a shout out to Pose and Leo and Press for Transparency as well, working in the background.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, he's doing a bunch of requests too.
And there were so many people making the phone calls too that are within the community as well. I know that Rick Jonesy said he was going to make a phone call. I think Let's OTBO was going to make a phone call as well. I called a lot of people. I said welfare checks need to be done, guys. Rogue Nation,
That's
I
a
called him.
brilliant idea.
He did a live stream for us to expose things too. So yeah, we put in some work, and that's what needs to happen. When somebody's in trouble, we need to come to their aid. So
that's
Dale?
something that I've forgotten about. But the welfare checks was something that, like, about 5 years ago, that was a common thing that callers were asking for. And I think the community kind of forgot about that. But that is a really good thing to ask for if you're calling a jail, is go check on them, Make them get up and go and check that room. They hate doing it. They absolutely hate it.
But they have to.
Yeah. I mean, with me, they're always watching me anyway. They're sending minions in left and right to poke and prod me and try and get questions answered. But your typical citizen is going to be in Gen Pop. They're not going to be watching them that hard. But
Cliff,
me,
Dale said something really nice, and I just have to address it. Dale comes from David, New York, New York, is how I met him. He's an absolute wonderful person.
Dale?
Dale.
Yep.
I don't know him. New York, New York?
But unfortunately,
David, New York, New York.
David, New York, New York.
He's the one that got arrested with GGA and I Am God on New Year's Eve.
And Christmas
New York
Eve.
City. Yeah, in New York City. We lost him. His battery died. All right.
But Dale, I appreciate that, but I'm up here in the mountains where I'm lucky. Well, I would lucky, not lucky, but we are lucky if we see a deputy once every 2-3 months. So my only channel could be wildlife.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll pop back up on my channel. Talking about peoples.
Yeah. So are you going to do a panel yourself, or? Oh, he's with you, so he's still with us. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm picking him up now, so pretty sure he'll jump on here.
All right. Sounds good. So I think when we got disconnected, we were talking to him about David, New York.
Sorry, Cliff.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you'd agree with this one too. Let's give a big thanks to Four Corners Fist in the Air. Every time I've been down there, he's been such a great host. I've learned so much from him. And, you know, if it wasn't for Four Corners Fist in the Air, none of this would have happened either, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. I've had him up on my show before, interviewed him, and we've been I think we've been friends ever since. He always comes into my chats. He comes into other people's chats. He's everywhere. And he's been doing good work down there, and I couldn't wait to meet him anyway. So I said, hey, might as well, Press Harder's down there. He's in trouble. And this will give us a chance to meet some people too. So that's why we.
You know why that is? You know why that is? Because Four Corners is rocking in the free world, baby.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that Mile High community and everybody on panel and the chat. I know it sucks that that happened to people here, but at the same time, it brought attention to where it needed. We always say it's corrupt in our area, but it's everywhere. And I'm just sad that the attention came to San Juan County because they need to be looked at and make sure that understand that the people are watching, the people that we're not in it by ourselves. Like they thought people was just somebody that wasn't known. They thought he was a nobody. They thought of me. They didn't know how much.
Well, I want to say this publicly right away. I want to say this. Farmington and San Juan County, if you are listening or if you come across this live stream, you get out of line with Four Corners Fist in the Air again, and we will be back. Period. And we will. You think we shook your county up this time? You wait till we come back next time. If something happens to Four Corners Fist in the Air, you can take that to the bank from me.
100%.
Go ahead, Mile High.
Go ahead, Mile High. Go ahead.
No, I mean, that's all I want to say, man. And I have respect for all of you. And, in the beginning, when I was doing this activism, you guys stood behind me, man. And that says a lot. That's all I could say. I really want to. It was awesome, guys. Every time I come down there, I feel freedom and I feel like I'm rocking in the free world, And yeah, Farmington, we're watching you. You don't want us down there. We're organizing. So
guys,
keep it real.
We were nice. We were nice this time. We were nice.
But Cliff, can we say it's not just Farmington?
Oh yeah, it's all over the country.
But yeah, but also in regards to New Mexico, what Brick, Jonesy, and Let's what Let's OTVO and what Brick are going through.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get something to eat anyways. Aren't you gonna get something to eat?
We need to support Brick, Jonesy, and Let's OTVO.
Absolutely, I completely agree. So if you guys are out there, Let's OTVO is right in the chat. So please get that message over to Brick Jonesy as well. Let's OTVO.
He's backstage, Cliff.
Oh, is he? Holy jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where is
Brooks
he?
Jones, he always mentions me as well. I watch his stuff. I'm around.
I don't see him. I don't see him backstage. Um, if he was, he should get out and come back in, and I'll bring him up.
Hold on, I'll drop the link again.
Just I'm kind of the same way as Press Harder. You know, I don't ask for help. I don't ask for money and all. You know, but it's when you go out there and you put boots on the ground, people know that you do it for the right reasons. You know that you get the backup. It feels real good. You know that they understand what you're standing up for, and it's just not for ourselves, it's for everybody else's rights.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing about supporters too. You know, guys, if you're if you're going to support some channels, support. Make sure you know that they are in it for the right reasons. Make sure that you can see that they will do something if they see something egregious going on. They'll show up. They'll be there. Those are the channels you really want to support. Um, I I think Stephanie puts my pay links in our chats once every stream, and that's fine. 'Cause, and I never ask for money, hardly ever. I think I did this last time because man, it was expensive going down there. I'm not gonna lie; those hotels are wow. Um, and so, if you guys can support any channels you want financially, if you can, um, but and if you can't, just do it. Subscribe, like, share, make phone calls when you feel like something you see something really egregious. Just call. You know, do a welfare check. Be polite. Do those things. You have a right to do them. Redress your grievances is not a crime. I know that the government tries to say you're harassing people. No, you're not. You can't harass the government. It's a First Amendment protected activity when you call and redress your grievances to the government. Period.
No, no, Cliff. That is definitely a crime. Okay, you cannot go hurting cops' feelings. Not in Farmington.
Yeah, they might arrest you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We have all these rights, and we say they can't do things, but they do it all the time, right? Um, Even though they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But when they
Yeah.
do, people are going to show up and help. You know, when they do the wrong thing. So, but yeah, I always call. I make calls, and I'm usually polite. But if they start getting, you know, if disrespectful with me, I don't have to be nice. Daisy May, yep, Daisy May's a hound dog when it comes to that. If they hang up on her, she's calling back. So, um,
Hey, Cliff,
all right, yeah, go ahead.
I do have some questions. Okay, Shuttleworth got 364 days probation. I believe it actually was March 2024. So that would make it go through March 2025.
Yeah, yeah.
So in a matter of a month, he became a sergeant with the jail, or was he hired by the jail
While he was
while on probation? And
Yeah,
his charges were actually the DUI, and then I posted it. I don't want to word it wrong, but it had something to do with minor children in the car. Was the second one he pled to. He got 364 days probation, 20 hours of community service, and then the interlock system. How does that work? How can you be a correctional officer, a sergeant as a correctional officer while on probation?
definitely something to look into, right? Hey, I've
Yeah,
got. I just noticed this flatbed mafia. That's an interesting. I wish people was here. Ask him to answer this. So, as just an
Here you go.
average tax payment,
Hold on. He's here. Just hold on.
do you see that on the screen there? People, press harder.
Hold on, give him a minute.
Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and read Flatbed Mafia's statement here. I can't tell if it's a statement or a question. As just an average tax-paying American, I stumbled into all this auditor or frauditor channels one day, and I found it amusing to say the least. I gotta ask, what do you expect to gain from all of this?
Don't expect to gain anything. Just do what you do if it feels right, right? If you have something better to do it. But if you
Flatbed Mafia, I understand where you're coming from in regards to your other comments about being a flatbed semi operator. But if we don't all stand together and stop this, they're going to continue to infringe upon our rights.
It's all about holding government accountable. I go after them. I use my First Amendment rights to redress my government to comply with Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And I usually get voluntary compliance pretty quickly. Ask Cliff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they snap too when you send them an email. And they go right through the motions and get things done. And that's what our government should work for us. That's the point. And so we do make a change. We make effective change in small doses, but it needs to be done on a national level at some point. So my end goal is to make sure that our country stays free for my children and grandchildren and their children. Not just stay free, become free again. Because I don't know if you're aware of this. A lot of people just watch TV and put in their 40-hour work week, pay taxes. They're just the average American. They don't understand what's really happening in this country, or they're watching their sports. I call it bread and circus. We're all being distracted from what's really happening. We're losing our freedoms. And as a veteran that swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States, in the United States Army, that oath didn't end just because my military service ended. And I didn't get anywhere in the military because I refused to I disobeyed an unlawful order. I was told to kill somebody that we weren't at war with. Okay. And I got court-martialed, and basically, I didn't get thrown out of the Army, but I never made rank. I ended up leaving as a private. So it's because no one understands the Constitution of the United States. I don't violate. When I swore that oath, I took it seriously. Some soldiers, when they first join, they don't realize what they're swearing an oath to when they swear an oath to the Constitution. They don't even know. They've never been taught. Not deeply, anyway. We learned civics in school, but not deep enough to really understand it.
Question: flatbed media. Would you be willing to come up on panel and discuss this?
And it could be
because I don't see. I don't see cameras blazing.
Yeah. Yelling and screaming. Yeah. Yelling and screaming. People, you weren't really yelling or screaming, but you did have a nice loud voice to where they could hear you. And you did tell them, I can speak I can talk if I fucking want to. And you got arrested for that. Flatbed Mafia, I don't believe that you thought that was a good arrest, do you? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I know it would be kind of embarrassing if you said yes, though, because a lot of trolls will say, yeah, or no. They knew it wasn't a good arrest. People's trolls even said, oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. So Utah Defender's in the house. And Utah Defender.
Yay.
I did have people with Press Harder And I told him that you said it was okay to give out your phone number to him, so I'm going to do that after this end this stream. I got to give Stephanie his phone number, or him Stephanie's phone number as well. And who else was there? I
You
know
got to
there's
give him
one more
mine.
person. Yeah, yours as well. All right, so I can't write this down. Um, Phoenix, will you send me a text and remind
Hey,
me of everybody that I got to give phone numbers over to the people,
Yeah, I can do that.
please? I appreciate you.
Yeah, I can do that.
All righty.
hey, can I respond to that guy real quick?
Sure,
The
go ahead.
reason why I do this, I went to family court. Okay, that's a nightmare. But aren't you tired of your roads being all messed up, parks just being destroyed, and nobody cares? And these people are supposed to service, and it's not working at all. Nothing about it is working at all. All it is gets worse and worse and worse. So I like to hold my government accountable for my kids and grandkids, and hopefully we can have a better world. That's why I do it. And too many of us hold our head in the sand. It's time to get our head out of the sand and do what's right.
Yeah, flatbed. If you're still out there, my identical twin brother was an over-the-road trucker, and I've ridden with him over the road, so I know what it's like. I've rode from East Coast to West Coast and back, and boy, that was interesting. My brother's an awesome tour guide. He's like, look to your right, look to your right, look to your right. I'm like, what? Do you like? No more trees. Desert the rest of the way. So I know your job. I know what you do. And, I target law enforcement specifically, intentionally, and I target court systems as well. Not too long ago, I discovered, because I have an electric bike that I registered as a moped, a 50cc equivalent moped, and the South Carolina DMV says moped owners do not owe property taxes to the county upon which they reside. And I got a tax bill for my moped for $131. So I sent them an email and said, here's a link to the South Carolina DMV's website. It clearly states moped tags do not owe property taxes to the county upon which they reside. And they said, oh, you're right. You only owe the road maintenance fee and the decal fee and the renewal fee of $31 total, sir. So I know now that Richland County, South Carolina, is extorting people for taxes that don't know their rights and don't know what the DMV rules are.
Okay, so I want to address this to Flatbed Media Mafia. Let me go ahead and read this. There are good cops and bad cops. Also, there is good people trying to make a change, and that some that run in with a camera and just yell and scream. And I agree with everything you just said
100%. 100%.
there. The ones that yell and
100%.
scream, um, they don't have all of my respect, but they're probably beginners, and they need to learn that you don't come in hot like that. You have to give respect in the beginning. Not okay. I don't want to say have to. Everybody does their freedoming in their own way, right? But we have a right to redress. We have a right to scream and yell if we want to in a public area. We have a right to curse. That's all freedom of speech, and we have a right to our emotions. The good cops. I can tell you a story about a cousin of mine that joined the highway patrol when he was really young, and we were all like proud of him because we were all like, "Wow, cool! He's going to have the uniform. He's going to be a hero." We were all young. He about 3 months after he was out there, I was over visiting with another cousin. We were all together and having a beer, and I said, "So how's the job going?" He said, "I quit." I said, "What? Why?" He said, "It's not what you think it is," and I didn't want to be part of that. So I contend that the good cops are weeded out. People that really want to do something, that are that they think is going to protect and defend, and the rights of people, they become disillusioned by the thin blue line, because believe it or not, there are psychopaths that love to get a badge and a gun so that they can hurt people. Okay, and the good cops stand by and watch them do it. So that makes them even worse cops than the bad cops, right? And the good cops, if they say something and try to intervene when a bad cop is doing something, they're chastised. They're not part of the crowd. They're ridiculed. They're shunned, or they might just get a call, and it turns out it's a code 3 and officer down, and nobody shows up for them. So the good cops are gone, is kind of what I'm getting at. The ones that are there are letting the bad cops do what they do. That's just my opinion, but I'm right.
Flatbed Mafia, just to let you know, both Cliff and myself are retired truck drivers.
Clay Foundation. Anybody know Clay Foundation?
Yes, that's Brick.
It's Brick Jonesy.
Oh, it's Brick. Oh,
That's Bricky.
What's
now I
up, man?
recognize you. Thanks, brother.
That's Bricky.
Welcome to
Brick
the family.
Jonesy.
What's good? What's good?
Hi,
we were
Bricky.
we were talking bad about you. All of a
heard
sudden
it
you showed up.
Surely it wasn't all bad. I mean,
It wasn't bad at all. Decent.
no. Actually, because I always do the thing where I'll Let's told me that you guys were live, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I went to you, and I'm like, okay, let me listen to see what they're talking about, and I'm, tracking back, and I'm like, oh, they're talking about me. What are they saying? What are they saying?
It's all bad.
It's all
It's
horrible.
all bad. We have nothing but bad things to say about Brick Jonesy. Brick Jonesy is nothing but bad.
So I know for a fact that when
love
I
you,
talked
buddy.
to Rick Jonesy over the phone,
Thank you.
and I was letting him know about the People Press Harder's situation, and I kind of gave him some background on it, he said, "I'm going to call down there," and I know he did. I don't even have to see the proof or hear the proof. He says he's going to do something. He did it. So, and we do appreciate it. So there's a lot of people that were doing things behind the scenes. They might not have physically been there, but they were doing things behind the scenes, and we have to make sure that we shout them out and appreciate all of them. So thanks, Brick, for what you did.
Yeah, I mean every call does count. Like, so for me, I've been doing it for quite some time, and I've found a way to talk to these people, and sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes they don't want to listen. I unfortunately did not. I have to be honest. I did not get the chance to. A lot of things came up, and by the time I realized that he was already out, you were there, and you were in Four Corners camera, and I'm like, well, jeez, but it doesn't mean they won't get a call.
Yeah.
Brick, did you just wake up?
I did. I did.
Brick,
Well,
you did. I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
He been sleeping all night getting ready for the damn panels.
well, you see how honest he is. He just outed himself.
We
Yeah.
did.
But
That's
I
character.
try to like, so with the calls, like I try to make those calls because every call does count, and there are times when things happen, nobody's calling, right? Now you guys did say that you were going down there. That means a lot, right? That right there, because showing that you're in support of someone who's clearly been wronged, the people in that community, whether it's the police or it's the judges or any staff of any of these places, when they see people out there, it does affect them, right? And it also affects them to see your demeanor. But not showing up or not making calls isn't going to have any effect at all. And so if you don't show, if you don't make calls, they're not going to change what they've done. They're not going to do the right thing in the future. It's just a guarantee. They're in a position of power and they've already made a decision. If they've already made a decision and you don't ask them to change that, then they're not going to. They're not going to.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah. And I didn't really want to be hard on, what was his name? Flatbed. I didn't want to be hard on him at all. We're trying to convert these people, right? And so if he saw the video, or I don't think he saw the video, he might not even know what's going on, right? So it was pretty egregious. That officer said, because they were just filming. They were just trying to, they got a report that over the radio that a woman was being held against her will. So they showed up with cameras to document. That's what the press does. They document with their cameras to put out a story because it's a public interest story, right? But the cops weren't allowing them to film. They weren't allowing them to be close enough to the scene to make a difference, to even get the story out. And they pushed him back 20 feet, and then they wanted him to go back another 20 feet. And he's cussing them out because of it, because he can't get the shot.
Hey, Cliff.
Right? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to have to leave y'all. I'll still be in chat, but it was great talking with every one of y'all. I hope you all have a great evening.
Thanks, Stephanie. Appreciate
Great
you
to
coming
hear
up.
your voice, Stephanie.
Night, Stephanie.
Good night,
Have a
y'all.
good evening.
Love y'all.
Shout out, Steph.
Good evening.
Bye.
Love you.
Yeah, she rarely comes up on panels, so it's kind of a treat when she does.
Bye, Stephanie. Thank you. Yeah.
I like it.
Really
Yeah.
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 She is right. She is right about me doing the panel.
So there was a Lieutenant Mosley that came out. He's bald headed, and so he's called him Baldy, and he came out and he said, "Move back, move back, move back," and he did. He moved back, he moved back, he moved back further, and he said, "Man, I'm far enough. That's come on." And then he says, "You say one more word, I'm going to arrest you for interference." One more word. Do I make myself clear? And
That's an illegal order.
all the people did was all he said was, "I'll talk if I want to."
Yeah, that has me.
You mean I said, do I make myself clear?
Do I make myself clear?
Is that clear?
Yeah. And he said, "I'll talk all I fucking want."
Yeah.
And the officer said, "You're under arrest." And people with press harder just stood there and waited for the men to come up and put cuffs on him.
And the
He
feelings
did not
police
resist.
made him lay down.
Yeah, he got his little feels hurt, and that's not cool. It was a bad arrest, really bad. So
Yes.
I'm off that soapbox.
Yeah.
What I like about what I do is that it gives me a good feeling to know, because these things that I do are so that others that come behind me have a better quality of life than we have now.
Yeah, especially the ADA.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the ADA for the disabled people. There's no 11th Amendment immunity. Why fight something that you could get yourself in trouble for instead of fighting something that you can't lose? I'd rather fight the fight I can't lose, because they have no 11th Amendment immunity for non-compliance with Title II of the ADA. So that's why I target them, and that's why I'm so successful. So.
Yep, and when they're not in compliance, they're violating. They're committing fraud, and
to the federal government to receive federal funds. Yeah. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yep. Yeah, and I ran across that pretty quickly. getting involved in the press community and that sort of thing. Making these calls, looking at these stories, you make a call, you're asking questions, you're asking for records, that sort of thing. And these people have no clue how to deal with someone that has a disability. Right. And it's just sad. It really is, because that I do believe that is one of the biggest problems that we have here in this country, is that, that they've created a system where they're saying to the lower governments, you guys need to be helpful to the weakest physically, mentally among us, because they need assistance. They absolutely need it. It's not a matter of a question of if they need it. It's a matter of the fact that they do need it. And so when they're doing the things that they're doing, which is not helping you write out a record or a records request, or just not even listening to you at all. I mean, there's people who are really mentally handicapped. Like, it's not a downplay on them, but they just don't have the mental capacity, the wherewithal to sit there and deal with people who just don't care. And it's very sad. And it really needs to change. It needs to change.
Perfect example too, when you're dealing with government workers, they are so rude sometimes. I mean, we've all experienced going down to the DMV, and there's these long lines, and when you get up there, they're just short and curt, and let's move on. And they're just rude. And they don't have a right to be like that. They act like they're better than we are. We're the ones that pay we pay their mortgage. Us taxpayers do. And we have a right to be treated with respect when we show up at a government entity to get services. If we went to Burger King and they treated us the way that some of these government officials do, Burger King would not be in business anymore.
Facts. Yep.
For example, Cliff was denied being able to verbally give a report somewhere and have somebody else write for him, because he has a disability that causes him to shake uncontrollably, and he can't write, and he has very difficult with typing on a typewriter. And I hope you don't mind me saying this. I don't think you do, because you say it all the time on YouTube. So
absolutely.
Because of the fact that he has those shakes, they are supposed to make a reasonable accommodation and assist him with filling out that form. And anybody that denies and refuses to do so, Cliff has an ADA Title II case against. So,
yep.
We paid taxes. We've earned those services, so we paid for them.
Yeah, you bring up such a solid point about the taxes, and there's so many things that through legislation the people have available. Unfortunately, when it comes to building these things, when the legislation is put in, then of course it has to be appropriated where it needs to go. The wild thing about that is that it gets sent to where it's supposed to go, to the program it's supposed to go to build whatever, or to fund, looking for a specific individual who can handle that sort of thing. But then wherever that governmental agency is, it doesn't make it quite to that destination. So if you've got to hire on like a specific person, an ADA coordinator, the person who's supposed to be the ADA coordinator, it always ends up being like, you walk in and you ask, do you have an ADA coordinator? And they're like, well, we don't have one, but the person who deals with ADA compliance, that would be like the top guy. They'll say, oh, that'll be the clerk, right? They'll say the clerk is the person who would know about that sort of stuff. And the clerk's like, yeah, well, we don't have one. Well, here's the problem. It was appropriated. why don't you have somebody who can do those things? So every time somebody with a disability steps out, now the clerk's got to handle that. He's got to, because they don't have one. They don't have a guy. So it's up to the clerk.
And even then, they're out of compliance, because if they have 50 or more employees, they have to have an ADA Title II. They have to have one that's trained, certified, all of that.
And they're supposed
I've
to
learned
make sure
all
their
of that.
employees are trained.
Yep. And they're supposed to have notices everywhere. And they don't.
Yeah, there should be no excuse in an employee not knowing who their ADA coordinator is.
Yep. So Flatbed Mafia, call up any government entity at some point and just ask them, who's your ADA coordinator?
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
A who? A what?
No, what?
Happens all the time.
What's
I
ADA?
don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody say, "I'm sorry, sir, this is not the American Dental Association. This is the South Carolina Highway Patrol. How can I help you?"
Wow.
I said, "Yeah, I want to speak to your Americans with Disabilities Act coordinator."
And
Because
so
I said
like,
ADA at first.
the lowest governmental not agency, but I'm trying to remember what the word here is. But so the lowest denomination of government is the city or township or whatever it's called, the
village. Yeah.
Village, township, city. Then you go up to the county, then you go up to the state, and then you go up to the Fed. And so when you're at that township or city level, right, they apply for their township and they can grow, to be bigger and eventually become a city. But with that comes responsibility, right? When you have like there's places that have like, I don't know, 10 townships around each other, or a city and 8 townships, but you look and you'll go around to these places and they don't have the compliance that they're supposed to have. Well, how come you're a township? How come you already have this you're claiming to be a city, but you can't do the things that a city can do. You can't do the things that a township can do. You're not qualified. And so I believe
And
that's
they get grants for federal money too, and the federal feds tell them you have to do this, you have to be in compliance with that,
Right.
in order to receive these funds. And if you don't do it, you don't get the funds. Well, they get the funds and then they don't do it. That's fraud.
Yeah, that's fraud. And what is it? Chamber of Commerce. That's what I was. So the Chamber of Commerce for each township or city applies for all of these grants. And through that Chamber of Commerce, because that's where the money comes from, they're supposed to, delegate through the council or, however they do their township according to their charters and that sort of thing, where that money goes. And then they're not supposed to use certain monies for certain things, right? So you can't just take like a grant for, a certain program and then say, okay, you tell the government, the upper government, the county or the state or the Fed, okay, we're going to use this for this, but then you take it and you put it in a account and you never use it, and you start pulling off the top of it and putting it in your pocket, and that it just doesn't work like, or it's not supposed to work like that. Now we know that that's exactly how it does happen. This is exactly how they lose $250,000 for a homeless program in the city of Albuquerque. I mean, how else does that just up and go missing?
Yeah.
So
a lot of corruption.
It just continues to happen. Like that $250,000 should have already been where it was supposed to be, not sitting in an account. But because, people don't check up on their government and say, okay, where's this money going now? Where's that money going now? And then on top of that, the corruption itself, it disappears that quickly. that
Yep.
quickly.
And if you don't
I
record,
got one question to ask people about taxes. If somebody came and robbed you and took your money, wouldn't you be pissed? Why aren't we doing this to our government? Why aren't we holding them accountable? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, yeah.
yeah,
And
that's what
it's
we're
hard.
trying to do.
I will say, I do understand to an extent. It is very difficult to stand up to the gunman. It is, but you have to do it. You have to. Otherwise, they're just going to bury you.
Yeah, my parents always said, "Well, you can't fight City Hall." It's just not true. You can.
You can, and you have to do
Especially
it
in
the
this
right
day and
way.
age. In this day and age, when we've got cameras, cameras are the unbiased um, uh, tool that it doesn't lie. It doesn't
Yeah.
lie.
That's exactly right.
And if you don't have a camera, it's he said, she said, and the government always lies.
Yeah.
Especially corrupt government.
There's nothing that's too big to fail.
Yep.
Nothing, including our U.S. government. That's
Wow,
my view of it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's throughout. It's cities, it's townships, it's counties, it's states, it's our federal government, and we've got to get a handle on it. Otherwise, we're already not free anymore. People just don't realize because they're too busy working out there on the road, making a living. They don't know it. They don't know what's happening. So I recommend just learn as much as you can about this movement and what we're doing. Independent journalists, investigative journalists, constitutional advocates. We're all part of the 1A community, and the 1A community is all part of all of those entities out there. And we're all just trying to make sure that our government is doing what they're supposed to do. That's the whole reason for freedom of press is we are to shame our public officials into acting with nobility. That's the whole reason press exists.
Yes.
So now we've gone 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna end this, guys. But I want to thank everybody for coming in and being on the panel. Thanks, Clay Foundations. Is that the new name of the channel?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just changed it up. I mean, it's still in tune with
I can still
Brick.
find you if I go Brick Jonesy. Okay, perfect. I like
Yeah.
it.
Oh, actually, I did. You can, because I'm. YouTube does that. For a while, it'll stay being able to search and find that. But it is at Clay Foundations 1A Press. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Mile High Community Channel. Thanks for being here. Phoenix Volunteer 88 as well. Thank you for being here too. Go ahead. You took yourself off mute, Mile High. Go ahead.
Hey guys, yeah, thank you, Cliff. You know what? You're a great cop watcher, man. Really, we had such a good time, and that's what it's about. It's about the mix. When you have somebody there, I'm alone most of the time. I got one guy here I work with, King's Accountability, but yeah. And thank you guys. We had a great time. We had a great time.
I'm addicted. Yep, I'm addicted to cop watching now, so I'll be out there doing more of it. I'm gonna get boots on the ground, man.
I love the fireworks show, and the narration was awesome.
I appreciate it. All right, and thanks, Stephanie Jenks, for coming up. Thanks to people, Press Harder. Thanks, Four Corners Fist in the Air, for coming up as well. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, especially thanks for all the chat, everybody that came in tonight. Really appreciate you supporting the channel in that way. Do be sure and hit the like button on your way out. Leave a comment in the comment section after this live stream is over. Please do that with any suggestions or comments or whatever you want to put in there. I'm not going to delete anything. My house is now part of freedom of speech, so I'm not gonna ban anybody or do any of that stuff that I used to do. So just say whatever you want to say, even if you're a troll and hate us. Just make sure that you're not doing anything against YouTube's terms of service.
TOS.
Yep. And I do appreciate you too, Phoenix Volunteer 88 Title II. And I appreciate the help that you've been giving me over the last,
Yeah, brother.
6 months now. And
Yeah, brother.
yep. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll see you on the next one.
Well, the sun sets low on the dusty plain. Justice walks slow, but it ain't the same. The law can't reach and the sheriff's gone. So we take the reins and we right the wrong. The vigilance committee's here when the law ain't enough. We take it into our own hand, where the road's getting rough. In the dead of the night, when the sky's turning blue, we make our stand, ain't no fear, we see it through. Outlaws hide in the hills so steep, but we track them down while the town's asleep. No badge on our chest, but we swore an oath. Justice and accountability, we want both. They call it the Vigilance Committee when the law ain't enough. We take it into our own hands, where the road's getting rough. In the dead of the night, when the sky's turning blue, we make our stand, ain't no fear, we see it through. We ain't no angels, but we ain't the sin. When the law won't listen, that's when we begin. With a steady hand and a fire in our soul, we bring the justice, we pay the toll. They say it's a game that the brave must play, but the lines get blurry when the law won't sway. Ain't no judge, ain't no jury here, just the cold wind blowing and a voice you can hear. They call it the Vigilance Committee when the law ain't enough. We take it into our own hand, where the road's getting rough. In the dead of the night, when the sky's turning blue, we make our stand, ain't no fear, we see it through. So when the law can't save you and you're all alone, just remember the Vigilance Committee, we'll be taking you home.